here are tonight's starting lineups. And guys, what are we going to be looking for in this one from Anderson Varejao?
Well, I think what Varejao can do is wear down his opponent both mentally and physically. He understands what he's trying to do offensively, which is roll to the rim and finish plays either in transition or in offensive rebounding situations.
Yeah, you know what? It goes beyond that. He'll make you work wherever he is on the floor by boxing you out, hustling for loose balls and things like that. You have to guard Varejao. There is no letting up from him. The Cleveland Cavaliers come into this one following a loss to the Wizards.
And it wasn't just bad shooting. They weren't getting good looks. The offense wasn't clicking, no ball movement, very stagnant performance.
Yeah, I agree. The reason for that, I think, was their movement away from the ball. Not very crisp. Good way to start the game there. I mean, that's a nice inside bucket.
No question, Clark. I think they'd like to establish a presence down low early in the game to get their offense going. Well, what better way to retire the Bobcats name than to go out and make the playoffs for only the second time under that nickname? Good job by Charlotte last year. Now it's back to being the Hornets. Boy, how's that for a quick possession?
Yeah, it sure was. I mean, he didn't waste any time getting down the court, did he?
Stevenson with it, and it's Waiters picking him up. Back to Stevenson. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. They had some good games last year in that postseason.
Well, they did, and the injury to Al Jefferson, though, Kevin, really kind of sabotaged their ability to really compete with the Heat. So they weren't able to break the postseason streak, but the team is certainly headed in the right direction.
The Cavs were an all-out mess last year, and a lot of that was because of their depth. They just did not have the punch off the bench to keep leads or bring them back into games.
That shot becomes effortless for him when the D is so relaxed. They got to get more intense.
Roberts dishes to Vonleh. Just around a minute and a half into the first quarter. Jefferson, he's guarded by Varejao from 11 feet away. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls.
With the Cavs, their score differential for their reserves really tells the story. Just way too many points given away when that second unit came onto the floor. Something they needed to address in the offseason, and they did.
And the foul on Al Jefferson. That is his first foul of the game.
Looked to me like the defender didn't get squared up and get his feet set.
Good work by the officials. A nice call. That play can be tough to judge sometimes.
Love with the buckets. And for the Cavs, depth certainly won't be an issue this time around. A lot of changes and growth for them, resulting in a much deeper and talented roster.
And, you know, Kevin, people still underestimate the importance of having a strong bench. The Cavs really struggled with that last year, but with LeBron starting and pushing former starters to the bench, they'll be in a much stronger position.
And here's Stevenson, following the three-pointer by Kevin Love. Stevenson drives in. And stolen by LeBron. And here we go. Fast break. Love's got it. And that one's good, Irving.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
Yeah, they have the defense on the run right now because every pass seems to have a purpose. They're getting great movement, great spacing, and they're really lining them up defensively.
And he gets it to go.
Can't pass up that kind of look.
And in this first quarter, about 3 minutes played. Now we'll go to Doris Burke, who had a chance to talk with head coach Steve Clifford.
Team rebounding is something he stressed to his side, and rightfully so when you face a player that gobbles up the glass like Kevin Love. He told me that Love rebounds at an unreal rate, and his side can't take any mental breaks when it comes to boxing out on the defensive end. Love's numbers validate that fear, guys.
Thank you, Doris. Here's Roberts. That's good, and it's Stevenson with the assist. Roberts got 5 now.
Oh, he's going to keep banging those home if you give him that much space. Brian Roberts coming to the NBA 2 seasons ago after playing internationally. Had a great season as a 27-year-old rookie. Last year with Drew Holiday injured, he actually spent a lot of time at the starting point guard spot in New Orleans.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hornets. They put up a nice win against Utah last time out.
I'll tell you what jumped off the page to me, guys. The firepower off the bench. I mean, that's what really, I think, led them to that victory.
Well, it was that energy boost factor, we call it. You can't rely on that kind of scoring coming from the reserves every game, but it was there for them that night.
Looking at who's out there now for the Hornets. Yambo, he's checked in for Jefferson. Williams comes in for Vonleh. Jeff Taylor, he's checked in for Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. And it's Henderson for Lance Stevenson.
Second team foul.
Feeds to Roberts.
They've done a terrific job rebounding here so far, allowing no second chance points.
Open jump shot off the mark. That drops. 7 points for Kyrie Irving.
You know, something we're seeing less and less of these days, that little finger roll.
Here's Roberts, covered by Irving.
Second foul of the first quarter. They're probably going to have to sit him down here to try to avoid number 3.
And Clark, you're right. They've done a great job of cleaning up the misses and limiting second chance points.
Well, because they've done a nice job blocking out and everybody has been concentrating on blocking out and pursuing the ball, they've not given up any second chance opportunities.
Hustle, too. You got to hustle.
Yeah, you got to go after it.
The 3 from LeBron. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. And that's 10 points for LeBron.
They're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results right now.
Yeah, in fact, 3 of the last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
Here's Roberts. And Waiters kicks to Verjao. Pass to Irving. Launches it. And another 3 for Cleveland.
Huge advantage for them already.
And as well as they've played at both ends so far, this lead might continue to grow.
Here's Roberts, and it's blocked. And as we conclude the first quarter, a one-sided game so far. Cavaliers lead by 13.
Tune in this
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And let's get your guys' take now on the hustle stats for Cleveland.
But great hustle defensively through 2 quarters of play, contesting everything, starting to rack up those block shots, guys.
Another big aspect of their game tonight has been the fast break, transition opportunity. They're really keeping it up-tempo so far.
On the floor for Cleveland, getting going here in the second. Haywood is out there with Tristan Thompson. Then it's Matthew Dellavedova. Then it's Mike Miller. And it's Marion in at the 3 spot.
Well, really nice to see the purple and teal back on the court with Charlotte reclaiming the Hornets as their team identity. And I like the new jerseys. Not too bad at all. Pretty fashionable there.
Williams passes to Henderson. Clock at 6. Pass to Neal. A 3-ball. And that one's good. Neal's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. The Cavaliers leading by 12. And the Hornets for Charlotte, a reference to the fighting spirit in the region during the American Revolution.
Yeah, the region compared to a hornet's nest by the British generals. And the new logo, a little edgier than the last one. We'll see if they can channel some of that ferocity on the court.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Kevin, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is developing his jump shot, but he's got everything else in his game. As Coach Steve Clifford said, first, he's an A1 competitor, and he's one of the few guys in the league that can night in and night out defend primary scorers and make it hard on them. He's team first. He just brings so much to our team. Gentlemen, back to you.
A great energy player, Doris. Thanks.
Well, something special about him, guys, is just how good he is at winning the so-called second shot game, going hard to the offensive glass, salvaging points with his putbacks.
And he is also a tireless worker under the glass, Steve. More than a few guys have been on the receiving end of one of his elbows when a rebound is up for grabs. He uses his body very well.
Cavaliers making a switch here. Jones is checked in, and the Hornets call time here. They're first playing the Cavaliers.
Well, last year's season series between them was a battle of 2 of the NBA's mid-level teams, and they didn't get the better of them.
A minute and a half gone here in the second quarter. Hairston kicks to Williams. Bangs home the trifecta. Williams has got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. The Cavaliers leading by 11. These guys were a tough opponent for them last year, Clark, like Steve was just saying.
Yeah, when you're so evenly matched with the team, Kevin, it doesn't make you feel that good to have dropped most of your games against them because you feel like you should at least win some of the games you play against this team.
And Neal kicks to Zeller. Henderson on the wing, Williams. Got a piece of it. Out of bounds. Cleveland will take possession.
A look here at last year in the NBA where the Hornets ranked. First in fewest turnovers per game. 8th in blocks. As for the rebounding numbers, not as strong as you would think. Top 20 in the league. They certainly are capable of better.
And this is a smart team, Clark, because you talked about the turnovers, #1 in the league in terms of fewest mistakes. And that's when they were at their best. When they controlled the action offensively, they were able to execute without making mistakes, and that allowed them to set up their defense at the other end. And, this was a really well-disciplined club.
Hairston, the pass to Neal. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two.
Shot, and he's able to hit from a standstill or on the move.
That's good for Neal. And Neal, the combo guard size, but he's more of a shooter than a playmaker.
Yeah, and you know, he does better defending shooting guards in most matchups as well, Kevin. But the offensive end, I think, is where he makes his mark, and that's what you focus on with Gary Neal. He's going to give you scoring.
Charlotte making a switch here. Onlay's checked in. 2 from the line that time.
The Cavs just never really built any consistency last year for long stretches. And, you know, when that happens, it's hard to get wins away from home.
Dellavedova dishes to Lucas. And there's the feed to Dellavedova. A three-pointer off the mark. Hornets trail by 14. Cleveland, as you said, struggling on the road last year. Only 14 road wins. It's not going to cut it. The pass to Hairston. Takes the three, and he gets it to go. Hairston's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Well, a big part of the problem for Cleveland last year was talent on the roster. So you can assume things will be different. Clark on the road for him this season.
Things are going to be different in a lot of ways as long as LeBron is leading the way. And they'll be on the same page. He'll make sure of that. So look for a lot different outcomes in Cleveland.
Looking at who's out there now for the Hornets. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist comes in for Gerald Henderson. And Lance Stevenson subbed in for Hairston. From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Yes, Kevin, Cavaliers head coach David Blatt, unknown here in the United States, but he spent the last 2 decades establishing himself as the premier coach in Europe. Last season, he led Maccabi Tel Aviv to an upset EuroLeague title. One GM described the team as, quote, outgunned at every position except coach. Kevin, it's been his dream to coach in the NBA.
Many consider him a genius-level coach. How he does. And here's a look at what's coming up for the Hornets. Conclusion of Detroit, where they'll face the Pistons. It sets in motion a 4-game road trip for them. Here's Kidd-Gilchrist. A 14-point game for him in the win against Utah.
And you can't talk about his performance without mentioning his superior shot blocking in that game, really imposing his will.
The dish to Dellavedova. Sinks the triple. Dellavedova's got 6 points in the quarter.
It was a slow start for him, but he started to take off since we hit the second quarter, guys.
And here's Stevenson. He had 13 points in the win against Utah.
And his rebounding in that game, Kevin, just tremendous. He owned the boards.
Jefferson's shot is off.
Great job defending the hoop there.
So important to have good presence defensively inside.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Lucas kicks to Dellavedova with the fadeaway. That one wide left.
Looked like he was maybe showboating a little bit. That fadeaway, really no reason for it.
Jefferson passing to Neal. He feeds it to Stevenson. Shoots the three. And so we wrap up the first half. Cleveland ahead.
Now, presented by Sprint. The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started.
Excellent game we've seen from Kyrie Irving. 10 points, and he's picked up 6 points from behind the arc.
His outside stroke has looked really good today.
Stevenson is the 2 with MKG the 3. Inside you have Vonleh and Jefferson, and it's Roberts in at the point. So that's the Hornets 5.
Nice pass. That one was right on target.
Everything appeared to be lined up for Cleveland to get back into the playoffs last year, but that just wasn't the case. A lot of what-ifs for them last season.
And with another top pick on the roster, Kevin, and a youthful team, they were a popular pick before the season to play postseason games, but they still needed some seasoning.
Backing down is Jefferson, and stolen by Love. Irving attacking LeBron. Pulls it up. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. Irving's got 3 assists now in this one.
Tell you what, he is so difficult to guard, especially on a shot like that one.
And now for Cleveland. They still have the youth to grow, but with LeBron on board, the sky for them is the limit.
As are the expectations.
That's what has to happen if they're going to turn this thing around. He's got to take charge. He's got to be aggressive and really look to push here offensively.
LeBron outside. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And one more note about Cleveland. Everyone will now assume that they will make the playoffs this year, but the ultimate goal is a title, something that hasn't happened in the city of Cleveland for any major sport in a long time. Probably 64, I think, may be the last title.
Again, you're right on it. Cleveland leading by 12. Irving kicks to Verjao. LeBron dishes to Waiters. And Stevenson pulls it in.
Well, they need a shot or 2 to fall here soon. They're only 1 of 4 since the break.
And Roberts kicks to Stevenson. He dishes it to Roberts. No good there, and that would have cut it to single digits. Deflects the pass. And now the fast break. Stevenson with the ball. Passes to Jefferson. He kicks it to Waiters. The Hornets pull it in.
They're struggling here. They're just 1 of 5 to start this third quarter. They've got to loosen up here.
They've got the Pistons ahead of them in their next game in Detroit. That'll be game 1 of a 4-game road trip.
I'll be looking forward to seeing how that Detroit game plays out for sure. And a moment. Off an excellent season last year, 3rd in scoring, 4th in field goal percentage, and his passing skills were on full display last season. He was in the top 15 in the league in assists.
And how about that scoring average of his, Steve? I mean, you can't have any off night when you're able to put up those kinds of numbers.
Checked in for Charlotte.
Kyrie Irving 3 seasons ago was the only rookie in NBA history to shoot as well as he did from the three-pointers, the field, and the free throw line. There's no question about it. He is an elite shooter.
.153 left in the third. It's LeBron with the drive. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. LeBron's got 6 here in this quarter.
He's a big reason why they have the lead right now. He's made all of his field goal attempts thus far and remains hot from the floor.
And Kid Gilchrist kicks to Stevenson. Here's Roberts. He's got 9. 6 to shoot. Puts the lead pass in front of him. Yambo. Nice D from Verjao.
Well, one of his issues is he's a player that just does not excel at fighting through contact on his way to the rim.
And here's Love for 3. Another 3 for Cleveland.
Wow, he's got such a sweet three-point stroke. The way he can shoot it, forcing opposing bigs out on the perimeter, can really open up the lane.
Hornets trail by 16. Charlotte calls.
Defensive center, great rebounder, moves his feet well, anticipates, plays with a ton of energy, and he's one of those irritants. He gets under a lot of guys' skin.
Al Jefferson's checked in for Vonleh. On defense, the Cavaliers. 16-point lead, the largest margin in the game. There's a screen. Roberts passes to Jefferson. Oh, yes, the turnaround. Jefferson's got 6 here in this quarter.
And Varejao coming in to the league primarily as a defensive energy guy, but he's expanded his offensive skill set and has made great improvement as a passer. From his rookie season to now, he's more than doubled his rate of assists. He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him.
And Roberts kicks to Kid Gilchrist. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. And there's the call on James. That is his first foul of the game. 19 seconds left to play in the third. And Roberts kicks to Stevenson. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. Stevenson's got 5 points so far.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on him.
Here's Waiters. From outside, off the mark. Well, through 3/4 of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Cavaliers lead by 14. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the fourth quarter of action when we return.
On tap this Wednesday.
And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for Cleveland?
You know, one of the big stories has been the three ball. It's been a key part of their offense throughout the game.
And that's helped with their passing game, too, because they're getting a lot of assists by sharing the ball and moving it.
And Cleveland looking at who they've got to start the fourth quarter. Irving and Waiters, the guards. Kevin Love out there with LeBron James, and it's Miller in at the small forward spot.
All the points these defenders are allowing inside is inexcusable. That's 5 baskets in a row, and they've all been practically late.
Yeah, they've got to harden and toughen up down there, guys. LeBron James is able to do everything on the court. He's also looking to expand his horizons off the court. Plans to star in a movie. Even helped develop a TV series based on his life story a little while back. So he's exploring various avenues of self-expression.
Anderson Varejau's checked in for Cleveland. And now the Cavaliers. Fast break. Irving's got the ball. And he gets the bucket. And the Cavaliers lead by 16.
Well, his body control is what I notice. I think that jumps off the page when you watch him play. Even with the defender draped all over, he's able to find a way to get to the rim and get the shot to go in.
You know, something else I think about when I see this guy is he's a real headache to have to defend one-on-one. I mean, he's got all of the game that makes it tough for his defender.
Dion Waiters checked in for LeBron. Kid Gilchrist dishes to Roberts. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. You know, talking about LeBron, he even toyed with the idea of applying for the role of Players Union president.
Yeah, as if he doesn't have enough on his plate already. You know, LeBron obviously so busy with all of his endorsements and advertising, but also trying to carry this franchise. I think it was better for him to avoid that Players Union job.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Yeah, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
And Roberts kicks to Anderson. Dishes to Roberts. Nice pass in here by Charlotte. And Jefferson gets it to go.
Boy, you can sense the urgency with them now. I mean, right here, they're flat in the first half. They've come out here in the second half with a lot more fire and a lot more intensity. You can see they're driven to get things done.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Yes, Kevin, during that last break, I heard David Blatt as he addressed his team. He told the players, let's put our foot on them and keep them down. We've got them exactly where we want them. I want to see you guys slow the pace, use the clock, and stay away from any silly fouls.
The defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them.
And then Raiders with the jam.
Well, you knew he'd win that race.
Definitely. I mean, that's what you call early offense.
For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. Charlotte calls timeout.
Well, you know, the Bobcats, after 10 seasons, are changing their name to the Hornets, reclaiming the name of the original Charlotte franchise back from 1988 to 2002.
Here's Roberts. He's covered by Irving. And there's the call on Kyrie Irving. That's his fourth foul of the contest.
And for the Hornets, there was broad-based support for the name change. 80% of the fans supported it. Even a rise in ticket sales with the announcement.
Henderson kicks to Vonleh. Shot is no good, so Cleveland will take it the other way. Right side, Irving. Back to Verjao. He passes to Miller. Kicks to Love. That's in, coming off an assist from Miller. 9 points for Kevin Love. And for this rebranded Charlotte team, the hope is they can channel some of the success the Hornets enjoyed through the 80s, Clark, and 90s.
Yeah, Kevin, competitively and financially. Remember, the rebranding effort cost north of $4 million with new signage and court resurfacing and a lot of fresh purple and teal paint around Time Warner Cable Arena.
1:30 left to play here in the fourth. Irving kicks to Verjao. Not really his range, and it's off target.
That's a bad shot. You really hurt your team by taking a shot from that range. Put your defense in jeopardy.
And it certainly won't make him any friends with his teammates.
And the Cavaliers making a change here. James is checked in. 1:19 left in the fourth quarter of this one.
Defensive foul.
Well, Anderson Verjao staying relatively healthy last season. That's to say he only missed 17 games. That's a far cry from his previous 3 seasons where he played a total of just 81 games.
And Verjao, Steve, has shown flashes of all-star caliber production at the center position. It's been his injuries that have really held him back.
Yeah, it's good to see him able to remain on the court for most of the season. I mean, a tough year for the Cavs last year record-wise, but Verjao, for him, a step in the right direction health-wise.
And Love gets it to go.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any agenda.
It's hard to overstate all the points they've scored on assists today. Beautiful to watch.
And Roberts kicks to Kid Gilchrist. Feeds to Stevenson. 6 on the shot clock. Pass to Roberts. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good. Back to Love. Raiders on the wing. Bounces high off the rim and drops. And the Cavaliers lead by 20.
They didn't take their time wrapping this game up. They pretty much did it in a hurry.
Yeah, they had a nice spurt to polish this one off.
Completely new group on the floor for the Cavaliers. Cleveland on defense. They lead by 20. That's the most we've seen. Here's Jones. A huge slam, the perfect end of the fast break.
Boy, you relish these sorts of road games where you come in and you get the job done.
In a long schedule with the kinds of pressure of travel and tough opponents throughout the season, it's always good when you play a game like they have here.
None of the defenders wanted anything Clark to do with him on that jam.
And I do not blame him at all, partner. He was coming in with a bunch of steam and was ready to posterize whoever decided to get in his way.
All right, I understand, fellas, but come on. You got to challenge a little bit at least. This game's over, guys. I think we can say that with certainty.
Yeah, I agree with you there. We have a...
I'm Ernie Johnson. This is the NBA on 2K Sports. Glad to have you with us. Tonight, it'll be the Cleveland Cavaliers going up against the Phoenix Suns. And now let's go courtside with Kevin Harlan, who's ready to get things going in Phoenix.
And a thoughtful moment indeed. The national anthem and a crowd anxiously awaiting the tip-off. It's live coverage of the NBA on Monday night. Thank you for joining us here on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here with Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke. Our starting lineup to look at the matchups here and who we'll see for our starting five for both teams. Someone will be keeping an eye on, of course, LeBron James.
He is arguably the best defensive player in the game today. The amazing thing is that he can guard all 5 positions. You think back, I think that's unprecedented. I don't think anybody has ever had that type of defensive ability in the history of this league.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. I mean, his defense is so good it even makes highlights. How about that? I mean, you love his aggressiveness, chasing down blocks, staying on ball handlers at the hip. I mean, knocking the ball against the backboard. I mean, he does everything, and he does it with such force and agility and flair, but it's kind of understated flair. I mean, he is really quite special as a player.
We have an interconference showdown here at U.S. Airways Arena where the Phoenix Suns will be playing host. This their first chance this season playing the Cavaliers. In the 2 meetings last year, they came away with wins, never losing.
Well, some called their series last year kind of a measuring stick for which conference was the better one, and they represented their conference pretty well.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Guys, I was able to talk with David Blatt for a minute. With this being their first meeting of the year, he stressed to his team to rely on their instincts on the offensive end, saying, we do a good job of finding soft spots in defenses and not forcing anything. As long as we can continue doing that here, we'll be in good shape. We'll see if that holds true, guys.
Doris, thank you. And not surprising that shooting the ball well, an aspect of the game Coach wants his team to adhere to.
Well, everybody always wants to shoot the ball well, Kevin. I mean, that's pretty obvious. The key is getting yourself in a position to do so. You got to move the ball, move your body, make sharp cuts, set good screens.
Well, Steve, you've just laid out how you need to get good shots and the importance of good shot selection. It's really essential to being able to play a balanced game and an effective game.
Wow, he's got such a sweet three-point stroke. The way he can shoot it, forcing opposing bigs out on the perimeter, can really open up the lane.
Like all good teams in the West, the Suns were very strong against the East. 20 wins and only 10 losses for them on the year.
For the Suns, it was really just them beating the teams they were supposed to beat up on in the East.
Well, that's what you have to do when you climb the ladder in the West. You know the Western competition is so tough, so you've got to take advantage of any bit of a break in the schedule, and the Suns did that last year.
Now here's Waiters. James in the post. Lets it go from 11. Here's Tucker. Bledsoe with it. He's picked up by LeBron. They set the screen. Thomas kicks to Morris. Plumlee can't get it to go. Nice D from Verejao. First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in. Down low. A feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. Verejao's got his first bucket in this one. Over Cleveland, their last game, a win against the Hornets in Charlotte.
Seemed like they hit every big shot they had in that game, Kevin. Their offense was clicking, but really clutch in big moments.
That's ideally the way you want it to unfold on the road, Steve. Don't even give the fans a chance to get into the game.
Clock is at 3. Thomas nails the 16-footer. Thomas got his second bucket of the night.
You start hitting a few of those mid-range shots, and it can open up your whole game.
Irving drives in.
Kyrie Irving, clearly a player who's dreamed of greatness from a very young age. Going back to the 4th grade, he wrote, "I'm going to the NBA," and he wrote it across the back wall of his closet. And while it was hidden behind his clothes, it certainly wasn't far from his head or his heart.
And Cleveland making a change here. Brendan Haywood, he's checked in for Verejao. Tristan Thompson comes in for Kevin Love. Sean Marion, he's checked in for LeBron. Mike Miller subbed in for Dion Waiters. Several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
Yeah, but neither team really able to jump ahead.
Yeah, 5 times already the lead has changed.
Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And Irving still wanted to write down goals. He used to write them in a notebook. He still keeps. Now he'll write them down in his phone. All part of setting his sights high and dreaming big.
And Cleveland making a change here. Dellavedova's checked in. And for Irving, just like those words in the back of his closet stayed hidden, his great talent stayed hidden for a long time as well.
Yeah, it didn't really dominate until his senior year of high school, Kevin. Only 11 games he played at Duke. It might seem he was an overnight sensation in the NBA, but in truth, he spent a lifetime laying the foundation for his game.
Tipped away, out of bounds. Cleveland will take possession. And now look at the teams that have shot the ball the best over the course of the last month. The Cavaliers, number 1.
They've been playing so smart lately. Just the way they move the ball and they share it, they're always finding good looks.
Miller, no luck.
Well, one of his issues is he's a player that just does not excel at fighting through contact on his way to the rim.
Outside, Dragic feeds it to Morris. Back to Dragic. And Miller with the block. The shot and game clock separated by 4. Thompson from long range. And he gets the bucket. Thompson's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Miller against Green. He passes to Dragic. They kick it out to Green, looking to end the run. And that concludes the first.
Coming up this
Now the the second quarter getting ready to start up. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for Cleveland.
Well, they've definitely had the hot hand from the three-point line so far. Always nice to start out like that.
They've been distributing the ball really well tonight, too. I mean, a decent number of assists so far for them.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. So on the floor for Cleveland, John Lucas out there with Matthew Dellavedova. Then it's James Jones. Then there's Marion. And it's Thompson in at the 5, patrolling the paint. From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Yes, Kevin, Tristan Thompson switched his shooting hand before last season. He entered the league as a lefty, but transitioned to shooting righty. His thinking, at the end of the day, I want to be the best player I can. If that takes an adjustment in my jump shot or anything else, why not make that switch? He's shown he's willing to put in the work, gentlemen.
He certainly is. Thanks, Doris.
Well, we know how talented he is. It's just a question of how good can he become if he continues to put the work in.
And Green gets it to go. Timeout called the Cavaliers. You know, every year there are a handful of teams in the Eastern Conference that buck the trend against the West, and last year Cleveland was one of them.
And Kevin, as you said, most teams in the East struggled out of conference, but Cleveland was pretty solid against the West. I think they'll be even better with LeBron.
Absolutely. Catching up on the changes for Phoenix. Miles Plumlee's checked in for Warren. P.J. Tucker comes in for Gerald Green. Eric Bledsoe is subbed in for Goran Dragic. Here's Bledsoe. Tristan Thompson picking up that last bucket.
Yeah, he had not established position.
You know, I prefer the refs to whistle with a block when in doubt. I thought that was a good call there.
And the Suns making a change here. Morris is checked in. Plumlee dishes to Bledsoe. A beautiful reverse layup. Bledsoe's got his first points in this one.
And for the Cavs, it didn't show up in the win column, but a lot of their losses to teams out west were close competitive games.
Dellavedova, that's good. And the Cavaliers lead by 6. The Suns have got a nice 3 of 3 to start the second. Plumlee sets the pick for Bledsoe. Kicks it to Morris. Back to Bledsoe. 6 to shoot. The feed now to Tucker. And a great assist by Bledsoe as that one goes in. Tucker's got himself on the board with 3 there. Well, really, it was against the Southwest Division they struggled. A lot of East teams struggled against those teams. The 6 teams from the East had 1 or less wins against the division all season.
Always tough when the East goes out west.
Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. Jones kicks to Lucas. Out of bounds, Phoenix will take possession. And it seems like we've seen more and more of these guys in recent years. Big men who can shoot the 3. Over the last month, these have been the best of them. Third is Kevin Love.
So much value in having a big man who can step away from the hoop to draw bigger defenders out there. It really opens up the floor for the team.
Yeah, I think it makes it easier for everybody when you've got a guy who's capable of spacing the floor because of his accuracy from three-point range.
They're going to turn it over. They couldn't get it in bounds that time.
Kevin, a look here at how the Suns ranked in the NBA last season. 7th in scoring, 7th in steals. And they were a top 10 team in field goal shooting. Pretty impressive.
But I think the key stat for that club last year was points per game. They were in the top 10. That was really what they tried to do. That was how they tried to establish themselves each and every game. Get out, run, get good shots, and try to outscore the opponent.
Morris kicks to Bledsoe. Suns moving the ball around. That puts them in the lead. Plumlee's got 4 this quarter.
Well, the Suns with a huge leap in offensive efficiency last season under Jeff Hornacek. He really wanted them to get rid of the long twos. Instead, he focused on transition and living at the three-point line. That's why Phoenix was so difficult to guard.
And Coach Hornacek, very aware of shot efficiency as he was as a player, he said he loved to show his players their shot charts.
You know, that's a great tool, I think, to help players understand the value of quality shots. It's surprising, but a lot of players aren't really aware of their best spots on the floor. That attention to detail by Coach Hornacek, to me, is impressive because it helps players understand where they can be most effective on the floor and in the offense.
And a chance here to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Well, gentlemen, we all know the NBA has been adapting elements of the European game to its own game. It's a style that Cavs coach David Blatt is more than familiar with from his time abroad. Asked if he'd play LeBron at the stretch four, he said, quote, "You'll see LeBron there. You'll see LeBron all over the floor just like he's used to playing. I don't have to change him." Guys, when you've got the best player in the world, it's certainly easier.
All right, thank you, Doris. And LeBron accustomed to playing the four. Arguably now his best position.
Another lead change. How many of these are we going to have?
I don't know, Steve, but the momentum of this game has certainly swung like a pendulum.
Bledsoe, and he gets it to go. Bledsoe's got 4 points in the quarter.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Yeah, that's 5 of their last 6 baskets inside the lane. They have really established themselves inside.
Here's Verajao, and that one's good. Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. And Thomas, here we go. There's the dish to Morris. The pass to Bledsoe. He feeds it to Morris. Clock at 6. Back to Bledsoe. Cavaliers with the rebound. After this one, they're off to Denver to take on the Nuggets. And that'll be the last game of their very short 3-game road tour.
A lot of attention on the Nuggets. You know, that Denver game really...
Now, presented by Sprint. The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. The Phoenix Suns come into this one after the win against New Orleans.
They looked very stable, pretty much from the get-go, guys. A solid output, solid effort. And, you know, sometimes you'll see some inconsistencies come up in a road game, but they were pretty solid there.
I was very impressed with the balance they displayed, guys. Different people carrying the load, scoring, making assists, unselfish play. Everything was working for them to get that victory.
Inside, it's Morris and Plumlee. Bledsoe is out there with Isaiah Thomas, and it's Tucker in at the 3. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Suns. Just 5 to shoot. Good on the shot. And it's 6 points for Eric Bledsoe.
You know, they've been so effective when they've been able to get the ball inside.
Some real shortcomings from this defense. I mean, they've given up 5 straight looks in the paint. You look at the Morris twins out there, Markieff and Marcus. Defensively, you've got to check those jersey numbers just to make sure you know who you're guarding.
Here's Irving. Another shot. And the layup is good.
Giving them an opportunity at second chance points with some hard work on the glass there.
Thomas goes in, dishes it to Plumlee. That's good. Plumlee's got 9.
He used his strength there to get into the post without much of a fight from the defense.
Yeah, I think they've got to muscle up on him a little more. Do a better job next time in there.
All right, a chance to check out stats for Kevin Love. Terrific year last season for him. 3rd in rebounding, and also finished among the NBA's top 5 scorers. So just an unbelievable season for him offensively.
And Steve, you pointed out his success as a rebounder last season as well. I mean, he excelled at using his strength to fight through bodies and muscle his way to the glass.
Bledsoe outside. Pass to Thomas. And a great assist by Bledsoe as that one goes in. Bledsoe's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. To the middle. Stolen by Thomas. Fast break. Here come the Suns. Bledsoe kicks to Thomas. And that misses. That would have put him up. Cleveland's gotten a lot of looks from outside tonight. 5 of 12. Shots good by Waiters.
Boy, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip. They've got a battle inside.
Well, this game has been tough, Clark. I mean, they're getting after it, and I think they're starting to run a little bit low on energy, possibly.
Here's Morris, and that one is good with the extra effort on the glass. Morris has got 6. LeBron kicks to Love. Knocks down the 3-ball. And the Cavaliers lead by 4.
You can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
Well, for the Suns, a smaller backcourt with Eric Bledsoe and Goran Dragic playing together, but, they'll mix it up. Depending on matchups, they've had tremendous success playing those two guys together because both have old school guard skill. They can handle it, they can create, they can get to the rim, and they can knock down jumpers.
Morris passes to Thomas. No luck. Great D that time from James.
I don't know if it's just me, but he's looked a step slow since the start of the quarter. His shooting has really suffered.
Waiters, no luck.
That's one he knows he should have made. And one thing with Bledsoe and Dragic, they both have had experience playing alongside other point guards. Bledsoe with Chris Paul in L.A., Dragic alongside Lowry in Houston, Steve Nash with his first stint in Phoenix. Now, that may have helped them in learning to play off of the ball at times.
Eric Bledsoe checked in for Isaiah Thomas.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark Power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. Green kicks to Bledsoe. Green. Back to Bledsoe. Outside Dragic. Just 4 to shoot. Takes the elbow jumper and drains it. And with the Phoenix Suns, Clark, having 2-point guards, it helps them get out and run.
Yeah, you've got decision makers and finishers and playmakers at both guard spots, and that really helps them play the way they want to play, which is a free-flowing, freestyle, high-octane type approach. It's fun to watch, and it's very effective for them. Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it.
Jacks up a 3, and Dion Waiters the bucket on the assist by LeBron. Waiters got 5 points now in the quarter. Suns trail by 5. He dishes it to Dragic. Dragic left side. Shot misses. Cleveland's gone 7 of 15 from three-point range tonight. They're not afraid of that shot, and the shot is good. And the Cavaliers lead by 7.
They're straying away from the three-point game here in the second half. And that's fine as long as they're on the lead and they're getting good shots. They've decided not to take nearly as many three-pointers in this half.
Tolliver dishes to Bledsoe. From down in the low post, it goes. Bledsoe's got 8.
The only tough part of that basket for him was getting into such good position. The rest of it seemed easy.
And we've reached the end of the third. Cleveland ahead.
This Wednesday.
We welcome you back to what has been a good one here as we get into the fourth quarter. Hey guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Cavaliers?
In both halves, more than a few of their baskets have come off assists.
And they continue to knock down the long-range three-point shot as well.
And Cleveland looking at who they've got to start the fourth quarter. Irving and Waiters, the guards. LeBron James is out there with Merriman, and it's Thompson in at the center position.
Neither team having any trouble putting the ball in the basket.
Nope, nada. I mean, we haven't seen much defense either. I mean, both of these teams really locked into trying to outscore each other.
Green passes to Dragic. Bledsoe outside. Back to Dragic. They double him with LeBron. He kicks it to Warren. That's in, coming off an assist from Dragic. And that'll tie this game up.
He can be a forgotten man in their offense sometimes, but the defense still needs to keep an eye on him.
On the wing, Irving. Back to LeBron. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back.
How about that for a response?
They will say they can give the three as well as they can take the three.
A little over a minute of the fourth quarter gone right now. Bledsoe kicks to Dragic. Green, covered by LeBron. Green dishes to Dragic. Pass to Plumlee. Good.
And you can feel the pattern of this game, guys. They're working it inside, dominating in the paint, getting good shots at will.
Well, 4 of their last 5 baskets, guys, have been of exactly that variety.
The kick out to LeBron. Outside Irving. Pass to Marion. 5 to shoot. Plumlee with the steal. Last quarter of play, about 2 minutes in now. Green kicks to Warren. Dragic feeds it to Bledsoe. To take the lead. Chance there to take the lead. Missing. It's LeBron with the...
Man, he got fancy with that one, didn't he?
Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open.
Man, I like that. I mean, some coaches might want to see just a sure-handed lay-in, but I say put as much as you can on the finish and get your teammates going.
Plumlee sets the pick for Dragic. He passes to Green. Fires for 3. Cannot hit. And it's the Cavaliers taking it the other way. Irving attacking. Count it, and the foul. That's on Goran Dragic.
What a display of offense we've seen today, and it's only getting better.
Well, both defenses have been on their heels all day, and it's begun to take its toll.
Here's what Phoenix has got going on right now. Markieff Morris is checked in for Warren. P.J. Tucker comes in for Gerald Green. And it's Isaiah Thomas in for Goran Dragic. Around 3 minutes gone here in the 4th quarter. Bledsoe kicks to Morris. Good, and Bledsoe gets the assist. Bledsoe's got his 5th assist in this one.
A little confusion defensively.
Yeah, you know what? He sent the D a little message with that three.
It's LeBron with the drive. Kicks it to Irving. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. He gets out Isaiah Thomas.
Well, you have to love a point guard who can get his own shot at any time, because when the game slows down, the shot clock winds down, you need somebody to be able to back what Irving can do.
And it's easy to create shots when you can handle things the way Irving does on the fly. I mean, he'll be heading towards the hoop, see a lane get closed off, change direction, recalibrate, and he's already in the air and making things happen with a floater or knocking down a tough shot.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Thank you, guys. I had a chance to find out what Jeff Hornacek was discussing with his players. He told his team to keep looking for three-point opportunities, saying their perimeter defense isn't doing a good job getting out on our shooters. So let's keep firing away until they decide to guard us.
5 on the clock. Tucker can't get it to go.
Tough D on the inside.
Put up a roadblock, construction barrel right there. That's what he brings defensively.
Suns trail by 5. Bledsoe passes to Thomas. To the paint. Here's Plumlee. Cavaliers with the rebound. Outside Irving. And here's LeBron outside. Out of bounds. Phoenix takes possession. There's 49 seconds left in the 4th quarter. And Bledsoe, here we go. The feed to Tucker. Here's the dish to Thomas. Fires from 18. Count! What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3. Big time bucket there, Clark.
And Kevin, the crowd is loving it.
Well, they know exactly how big that shot was.
And there's the pass to Waiters. Good! And the Suns call time here. They're behind by 5. 26 seconds left to play here in the 4th. And Bledsoe, here we go.
That's the kind of defense required when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were right in his face.
And then Waiters with the jam.
Well, it's a wrap, fellas. No way you come back in this one.
Not anymore. Any chance of that happening went out the window a while ago.
Fires the 3. Rebound Love. from Irving for three. Great D that time from Thomas. Here's Bledsoe. Can't get it to fall. We see the Cavaliers get the